Lonely Monk Productions. Welcome to Too Old, Too New, the music discovery podcast that brings you something old, something new, something Nate, something Bruce. I'm Nate Runkle, host of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast, and with me, as always, is my good friend Bruce Warren from WXPN. The premise of this show is very simple. Each week we bring you two songs apiece, one new song that's been metaphorically spinning our turntable platters, and one old song that we believe still absolutely matters. What's going on, my friend?
I'm distracted here. I just saw, so I'm home, as I am occasionally when we talk about music. But I'm in my office, and I always see every once in a while, a little paw come out from underneath the door, and I got distracted there for a second. Anyway, hi, Nate. How the hell are you doing?
See, the cat made a guest appearance whether you wanted to or not.
Exactly. And I just said to you, it's I just got to keep them out every once in a while. But hello to you, and hello to our millions of followers.
Yes, sir. And all of the new ones jumping on board on the Substack. Loving seeing all the new faces.
Yeah,
man. And new likes and new comments.
That was a technological breakthrough.
It really was, and especially with the with all of the other social media sites kind of shitting the bed and falling into full techocracy, or however you wanna placate it. But yeah, so
exactly.
Perfect timing.
So you're wearing a jersey that looks kind of familiar.
Yes, my friend. That's right. It is first of all, it's a Jordan Mailata jersey because shout out to Jordan Mailata, my favorite. I like to call him my slightly less attractive big brother because I feel like we kind of look like we could be related. No?
No.
It's not even close.
Sorry.
But yes, I'm super excited for the Super Bowl this weekend. I feel really strong, going down position by position. I legitimately feel like we got this. I feel oddly confident.
Yeah. So a special episode in case you couldn't tell the theme. There's the Philadelphia Eagles hoodie as I typically wear during football season. This is the Philly edition of Too Old, Too New. So here you go.
That's right. So why don't you kick things off with your new?
Okay, but wait. Do you have? We should do our predictions at the end of this thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. We got to seed it. We got to seed it for them to stick around.
Do you actually have a number in mind, a score? A score in mind?
I have something of a score. I do.
Okay. All right. So do I. All right. So no spoiler alert here. We're both picking the Eagles to win. So
yes.
that being said, where are we starting, Nate? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We're starting on new.
Okay. So it's all Philly music. Okay. Too old, new, too new stuff. And so I chose in this new version of a song by the band Snack Time. Snack Time, for some of you might know that they were the house band for Jason Kelsey's late night TV show. They call it Late Night. And they are a 8-piece, 9-piece, sometimes 10-piece funk and R&B and soul band with some serious rock and roll elements to them. And both Nate and I are big fans of the band, and actually so is Jason Kelsey. But these guys are so much fun. And they recently collaborated with our pal Devin Gilfillian himself, who is originally from Philadelphia, now lives in Nashville. But they collaborated with Devin on a new version of a song that Devin produced called Trouble. So let's dig into this one. It's Snack Time featuring Devin Gilfillian here on the pod.
And I'll lead you to shore. Just drop on your back and leave it on the goddamn floor. If you came to party, we'll show you how. Come as you are so we can all get down. The world is so divided, we got to unite. Good vibrations make you feel alright.
Give me some.
Yes, sir.
We love those guys. We love both Devin Gilfillian and Snack Time. And if they're ever in your neighborhood, y'all should go see them play because both artists, both bands are just absolutely incredible. That's called Trouble.
For sure.
That's called Trouble.
And hey, you know me, never one to pass up an opportunity for a plug. You say from Snack Time plays on Corey Bernhard's new album, A Blessed Leap into Eternity. Corey was the most recent guest on Yo, That's My Jawn, available wherever you get your podcasts. But I asked Corey if he gave you, say, any tips or tidbits on being in a house band ahead of taking over for the Kelsey show. And he said, no, he didn't even tell me that it was happening. He said he had to find out from the other guys and the other guys in the band. So I thought that was pretty hilarious.
That is pretty funny. What you got?
So for me, look, we're stretching the word new here. This is 2002, but maybe a newer version than some people may have ever heard. My pick this week for new is a song by my pal G Love. I mentioned him way too many times on the show, but I'm going to do it again. The very first time I heard this song was the very first indoor show I saw post pandemic lockdown. It was at the Ardmore Music Hall, and it was just G Love and Chuck Treece. And they played this set, and they previewed some songs from the new album at the time, which became Philadelphia, Mississippi. And they played this song, and the second I heard it, I was like, that's my fucking Jawn, and that is a Philly anthem. And so when we came up with this idea of doing an all-Philly episode, there was no way I could do it without a little love from Philly. Now,
yeah, baby.
Before I play it, I have to say, because I'm me, and I have to do things extra all the time, always, at any point in my life. This can't just be the album or radio version of Love from Philly. No, this is the version that I believe only appears on the 7-inch single that Brewery Town Records released, because I'm pretty sure Max did the mix on it and whatnot. And it actually has a different opening to it. It's got a verse from G instead of the Schoolie D verse. And there's a reason I want to play it, but let me just do it. This is Love from Philly by G Love and Chuck Treece from the album Philadelphia, Mississippi.
It's a real thing, it's a feel thing, it's nitty gritty, hot sauce in the city. Yeah. Parking lot hustlers, South Street shucksters, Power 99 FM, Street Beat, Lady B, Johnny Mike's are spinning blues on XPN. Yo, it's G. Love from Philly, love from Philly, love. Love from Philly, love from Philly, love.
Oh, I got nothing but love, baby.
Get illy, get illy, get illy, get Philly, get illy, get.
An XPN shout out on Wax.
Come on.
So is this? Have there ever been WXPN shouts out on a song?
On a song, no. I think this is the one and only one.
It's like Lady B, Power 99, and Johnny Meister on WXPN. That's like high praise, man.
That's pretty hardcore. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The other reason I love this song, and I wanted to kind of mention it, is that the theme song to Yo, That's My Jawn in its current incarnation, the entire second half of it, the verse, originally began as me doing a remix of this song.
Wow.
And so for a very special treat, I thought I would bring to the audience the genesis of the Yo, That's My Jawn theme song. Here's me doing a little remix of Love from Philly.
Shout to Chuck Treece and the man up above. I rep the city of Hauling Notes. The Roots, Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff, the Goats. Hall of Fame, know the name, Gamble and Huff. Philly, INT, yo, that's the stuff. Tierra Whack, Meek Mill, Jedi Mind Tricks. Philly, Freeway, Neef, Buck, Young Chris. Bilal, Jill Scott, Amos Lee. Music Soul Child, shots of Black Lily. I come from the home of Beanie Siegel and the EAGLES Eagles. Eagles.
There it is.
Dude, that's pretty awesome. I have to tell you there, you cover a lot of territory. You cover a lot of great Philly territory.
Thank you.
When we decided to do this Philly, in fact, I think we decided last week on the show to do all Philly. I was just agonizing over it because I'm from Philly. I grew up here, born and raised. We'll probably die here. And there's so much amazing music that has come out over the last 5-6 decades from Philly. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to pick one song? But I think you just sort of gave folks a good sense of the breadth of the amazingness that is Philly, and that is Philly music.
It's so true, you know, because like I was going through stuff like at one point I was like, should I bust out like Baru Review? Like, should I like, I was going like, but I was like going like all through my head. Like, I don't know what to go with. I don't know. Like at one point I was going to do 3 Times Dope. Like,
Ooh, that would have been good.
I'm saving it for another show.
That would have been
to
good.
be honest. I got that. But like you said, there's just such an amazing mix of music that came from this town, and it's all fucking great, man.
Yeah,
it's all beautiful.
It all is great. So real quick though, before we move on to the to the next segment on the show, I want to give a shout out to Chuck Treece, right? Because, you know, a lot of people, you just played that G Love Chuck Treece song. A lot of people know who G is. Probably not as many people familiar with Chuck, who was in the mid 80s. First of all, he's a fantastic skateboarder, and kind of came to be known as both a skateboarder and a skate punk musician, right? And his first band in the mid 80s was a band that I used to see a lot back in the day in the mid 80s. They were called McRad. And I'm telling you, man, this band just ripped it up. And Chuck was the driving creative force behind that band and has since played with so many incredible bands. In fact, back 2 or 3 years ago, he joined forces with what's his name? Michael Hampton from Funkadelic, and they toured and played punk versions of Funkadelic tunes, and they called themselves Punkadelic. So Chuck is still feeling his creative energy, is making it happen, you know. And I just wanted to take a minute, give out big shout out to Chuck Treece. So, way to go, Chuck!
Absolutely,
keep on rocking.
Two more things about Chuck. You mentioned the skateboarding. He was the first African American to appear on the cover of Thrasher magazine.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, and here's my favorite Chuck Treece factoid, and it always blows people away whenever they hear it. Chuck played bass on Billy Joel's River of Dreams.
Whoa. Okay. Now.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks to Joe Nicolo.
Wow. Joe the Butcher.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, Chuck and I have been trying to put together an interview on Yo, That's My Jawn since 2001. We've gone as far as to even be ready to do it, and he couldn't get the internet to connect to Zoom. There's one time he called me when we were supposed to record. He was like, I'm on the side of the road, but I can just pull over and we can do this. I was like, no, just drive. Like,
yeah.
But fantastic, dude. All the love to Chuck.
Yeah.
So
right.
Old stuff. What do you got for old?
Well, it was hard. You know, I'm a TSOP guy, right? South of Philly guy. It's in my blood, you know, and I didn't even know where to start. But I just picked from 1975, I think this album came out. And the song was called I Love Music. It was on the same album as Stairway to Heaven and Living for the Weekend. And it is like the album's called Family Reunion. Now I remember. It is like one of the ultimate Gamble and Huff productions, recorded right here in Philly, Sigma Sound. Came out at the end of 75. And man, I just love this song because I love music. So let's check it out. That's what a classic album. You know, and that was another one. I was like, oh my God, what do I pick for old? I almost went with Teddy. I got to say, Teddy Pendergrass still holds a very special place in my heart. So many great albums, singer for Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And yeah, I was opting for Teddy over Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes just because Teddy's solo output was just fucking insane, right? Love TKO, Close the Door, Turn Off the Motherfucking Lights. I mean, come on. So yeah, I went with the Spinners instead, or the OJs instead.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm gonna say. Everyone, get ready for it. It's a theme. The strings, man. The strings made all that Philly sound. Like
That's
they were
right.
just so incredible. For my old, I want to say this is like 2009, something like that, maybe 2008, somewhere around there. Black Thought from the Roots had a side project. It was kind of like a hip hop group of all Philly rappers, and they were called the Money Making Jam Boys. It was Black Thought, it was Dice Rawl, it was Truck North, Greg Porn, and STS. And they released a mixtape. And it was absolutely incredible, showcased every single one of them brilliantly. Plus had some production on it by Questlove, some production by Frank Knuckles, who plays percussion in the Roots. I saw them at JC Dobbs one night before or after Roots Picnic. And my God, just the amount of talent on that stage was bombastic. It was absolutely bombastic. So I was trying to think of a good Money Making Jam Boys song to pick. And I went with We Not Playing because I feel like when it comes to the Super Bowl this weekend, we're not playing. And also,
I like that.
Shout out to this song for sampling one of my favorite Prince songs of all time, Starfish and Coffee. But this is We Not Playing by the Money Making Jam Boys. Specifically, this is Black Thought's verse. This is Philadelphia, and this is my old pick.
Hey, yo, kicking with the rhymes like a fortune teller. 95, I made the word Illadella. Yo, hella Jones up on my top. The Money Making Jam Boys when it's gon' drop. Girls screaming, that's them. His watch look like Big Ben. And when I rocks the mic, I get raw like a nigga that's sick and ticked off. 215, get the cream. Got a thing for hustling. Guns get the bustin', cats ain't saying nothing. Bet you it's another Black Ink production. Roll a huff and puff and blow the house down. The champion sound is in your town. Get down and get smoked. And this I quote, to me the game looking funny as an inside joke. You could believe I'ma go directly at y'all throat.
Wow.
The best. The absolute best. The
Yeah.
other thing that blows me away about that track is how old school that beat is.
Yeah.
Underneath it. And again, like, to me, that's like a perfect Philly sound.
Did you mention Petey Crack was on this record too?
He's on one of the tracks. Yeah. Another fantastic Philly
Unbelievable.
rapper. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like it's the other thing is like, I feel like, being in the shadow of New York has its detriments. And one of them is I feel like Philly rappers are pound by pound can hold their toe with New York rappers and often play like in the shadows. They're often like the little brother kind of figures in the hip hop scene. But yeah, absolute giants.
Yeah, I you're not going to get any disagreement from me on that. When was the 50th anniversary of hip hop, whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
I remember NPR did like a whole bunch of stuff about it, and they missed the boat because they shouted out, all the right places to shout out, but they totally dissed Philly in the conversation of the importance of hip hop, and I mean, I do remember buying mixtapes from Schoolie D back in the day, mixtapes and weed back in the day up on Parkside Ave when I was in college. And that was such a fertile time in Philadelphia hip hop. Rough House was starting, the Goats, obviously, the Fugees, the energy in the studio scene was so incredible. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I remember when Schoolie recorded one of his albums. I was not in radio yet. I was doing some freelance writing. I remember I spent like 2 or 3 days in the studio with Joe the Butcher and Schoolie D and the band that he put together. It was one of his Columbia Records albums. And I just remember just like this, it was the greatest thing. First of all, we smoked a lot of weed back then. And he did the album with a live band, and it was just incredible. And so those are my memories of like early days of Philly hip hop, And so yeah, shout out to all of those motherfuckers who just made great records, and many of whom are still having a big influence on all of music here in Philly. So good choice, Money Making Jam Boys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you think? Super Bowl. What's your prediction here?
I'm calling it 38-17.
Okay. You think it's going to be that wide, huh?
I do. I'm telling you. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be right. But regardless, Eagles are going to win. So there you go.
I am looking at 28-24. Maybe even 27-24, maybe go, some 2 points in there. But what I'm expecting is the standard thing that we come to expect, which is Patrick Mahomes gets one last chance at the ball. And here's my prediction.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter eats his head.
Oh, I hope that happens. I hope that happens. I sure do hope that happens.
I do. No, I feel really good. Like I won't be cocky about it. I'm not trying to say that like we got this in the bag or anything like that. But I definitely feel good. I feel better than we did the last time. I also feel like this little red string conspiracy theory, but I think this 3-year plan of subterfuge that Taylor Swift has put on to infiltrate the Chiefs organization to be able to bring them down from the inside as an Eagles fan is going to come to fruition this Sunday.
Right. Okay.
Wait for the heel turn.
All right. Wait for the heel turn. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, listen, here's to all of you who will be eating approximately 1.5 billion pounds of chicken wings this Super Bowl Sunday, and go Birds.
That's right. Go Birds. Of course, the music that we played here today will all be available in the Spotify playlist shared in the show notes. I will have to figure out something because Money Making Jam Boys isn't streaming anywhere. But we'll figure something out. Probably another Black Thought song.
You should just link to a download of it. I mean, it's probably still available like everywhere.
Yeah, I could do that. So in the notes, you'll be able to download the playlist. No. The notes you'll be able to download it. The playlist, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Of course, you can find us both on Substack. I'm at Yo, That's My Jawn. Bruce is at Some Velvet Blog. The video for these, full version of the videos, will appear on there. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, hey, what do these two dum-dums look like when they're having this conversation? Jump up on the Substack. You can watch the video. As always, Bruce, you can hear him every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on WXPN. You can hear me every other Monday on Why Not Radio. And you can also hear the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast available wherever you get your podcasts from. This Monday, my interview with Andrew Dost, formerly of the band Fun. And we had, without a doubt, one of my favorite conversations I've had on this show since the beginning. And that's not just me trying to sell the show, but maybe it also is. Anyway.
That's okay.
And of course, we'll be back with some more music, both old and new. So we will catch you next time. Bruce, thank you as always.
Peace, peace, peace. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Too Old, Too New with Nate and Bruce is a Lonely Monk production, produced and hosted by Nate Runkle and Bruce Warren. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on your podcast provider of choice. If you have any music you think we should hear, or if you would just like to reach out to us, please feel free to email us at tooldtoonewmusicpod@gmail.com. And as always, thanks, and we will catch you next time.